What's up? My name's Matt. I'm the vocalist from Caskets, and we have a brand new album coming out on November the 7th called The Only Heaven You'll Know.
Fantastic, Matt. Thanks for joining us this morning, mate.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, as you say, Caskets release your third studio album, The Only Heaven You'll Know, this Friday, November the 7th, mate. So, how are you feeling about it?
I'm excited, bro. I'm proper stoked for it. Like normally the last two albums I've been really nervous, but I'm super happy with this record and I'm super stoked for everyone to hear it, bro.
Nice. It's actually funny you mentioned that because you've been nervous for the last two albums, but those two albums have been massive successes. So, if anything, you should be nervous for this one because you've got all that hype to live up to.
Oh, don't say that to me, dude. Now
Sorry,
you'll
mate.
make me nervous. No, I'm the most happy with these songs than I ever have been. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why I'm super stoked for everyone to hear him. Like, I'm also anxious for people to hear him, but I'm happy with the work that we've done on this record. So I'm just excited for people to finally hear what it is.
Nice. Now, can you tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view and what you were going for this time around?
Yeah, dude. So we wanted this album to basically be more of an evolution of the sound that we already have. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more like poppy elements within these songs compared to our previous music, simply because we wanted to incorporate some more elements of genres, I'd say, not just for the fun of it, but because we wanted to add different genres of music that we all love as people, as musicians out of the band. You know what I mean? Like, I love acoustic music. Love a lot of pop music, and we haven't really gone into that in our previous music. So we wanted to do that, and thankfully, I think we found a good balance for that too. But there's a lot more synth heavy elements, and people have been calling for it for a few years now, so we finally started doing a bit more screaming, which I'm personally super stoked about too. Uh, so yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm super stoked for people to hear it, and I can't wait to hear what their thoughts are too.
It's cool. Like you mentioned, the pop elements and a bit of the synth, which it is there. But I listened to the album last night before doing these questions up, and it's not obtrusive. Like it's not just stuck in there for the sake of it. It actually works
Yeah,
in with the songs. You've managed to integrate it into the music rather than place it in there.
yeah, I agree. We were super conscious about it. Like I've said before, we wanted the really high bits, the big choruses to be like the really emotionally like evoking parts of the songs, and then we wanted to make sure that a lot of the verses were a bit more subdued. Do you know what I mean? Like back down into that pop kind of area. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, yeah, we thought a lot about. We went through the songs as demos and we tweaked some bits here and there. We took parts out, synth parts out, changed poppy verses to heavier verses because the emotion or the feel of the song calls for it. Like you said, we didn't want to just fucking drop pop bits in there or heavier bits in there just for the fun of it. We want it to be a ride of a journey throughout the whole album. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, thank you. I'd like to say, all right, we didn't just drop shit in there for the fun of it.
No worries. Now you might have people listening to this that have been fans of Caskets for a while and just go, fucking pop. What do you mean? But like the way you've done it, like when you bring it down to that level, it actually makes the heavier bits heavier because you're
Yeah,
coming from down and you just like reaching straight up into it. And yeah, I don't
yeah.
think any old school fans will be disappointed because it's still got all the
Thank you,
elements
dude.
of Caskets there, but it's just fleshed it out a little bit.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Yeah, I think you're right. Like the going from the quieter parts, and then once it like explodes into these big parts, I think you're right. It does give it more of a bigger, epic, heavier feeling. So, yeah, I hope the majority of our listeners kind of appreciate what we've tried to go for this time. Do you know what I mean? Because we've really tried to like broaden our horizons, but not in a sense of becoming a completely different sounding band. Do you know what I mean? I think we know what our niche is now, and we're just trying to find different ways to kind of accentuate different like elements of magic in there, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Now you've released the singles "Make Me a Martyr," "The Only Heaven You'll Know," "Closure," and "Sacrifice." So, are they a good sonic representation of the album overall, or are they just scratching the surface? You reckon?
I'd say they're just scratching the surface, dude. There's a completely different element to the album that I don't think anyone's heard of those singles yet, and I think that's the more heavier aspect of it. I don't know where that came from. I think there's a bigger, heavier aspect of it. There is another song coming also, which will portray that also. So yeah, I think I think those singles represent or give the listener an idea of where the album is going. Do you know what I mean? Like sonically, musically. But I think there are also some little surprises in there that people won't hear yet until the album comes out.
Nice. Now, you were quoted as saying that this record is the sound of me falling apart in real time, which is a very interesting quote. Can you elaborate on that for us, please?
Yeah, so I write or I sing, or I've written lyrics. A lot of the meanings of these songs are things or written about parts of me or aspects of my life that in all honesty, been too scared or anxious to talk about before ever, like to anyone. Do you know what I mean? Um, and I thought it's about. I feel like it's time for me now to get these not only thoughts out my head for my own sake, but I know that this type of stuff that I've gone through in the past and what I've sung about in these new songs, I know that they'll potentially help other people listening to these songs, help, you know, they'll relate to it, and I hope it helps them find some closure or helps them feel heard and feel seen. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, but yeah, a lot of the songs are about my my dealings with my belief in faith and um, my past with addictions and parts of my upbringing and my own self-criticisms as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's about time I kind of like took a little bit of responsibility for some of the bad I've done in my life that I've kind of kept inside and pent up, and I've kind of let that out not just for me, but so other people can hear that it's fine to acknowledge that you're sometimes you can be the bad person in a situation, but also know that we all have bad in us and we all do bad things, but it's also fine to forgive yourself and to try and find forgiveness by others uh within the aspect of whatever it is you're going through. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
So yeah, it's a lot of it is about a lot of the times in my life where I was literally fucking falling apart and looking for guidance, and I think that's why a lot of it is to do with faith and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, I really respect the fact that you can do that as a musician, mate. But it's
thank
always,
you,
I've
man.
always wondered, like you say, like these are your deepest sort of thoughts, and they're often criticisms of yourself, and you're anxious about them in the first place. So how does it help telling the world, like, and reliving it every night when you sing it on stage? Like, surely that's just opening up old wounds sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I kind of can't answer that yet because we've only sung one of these songs live so far. But I think for me personally, I think it's a part of my fucking job. Do you know what I mean? I have a responsibility as a vocalist of a band who's willing to write songs like this. Once they're written, it's then my responsibility to put that out there. Like now these songs are done, they're about to be out to the world. Like they're not mine anymore. Do you know what I mean? Just because I sing them and I wrote them, they don't belong to me. I wrote the songs for me to try and heal, but I didn't write the songs to keep for me. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're for the world. So if I have to go up on stage every night and fucking relive that trauma and stuff, so be it. But also I do my very best nowadays to try and find a positive edge. And like if I'm going through that trauma every night, it's it's just gonna push the emotion more, and it's gonna show how much it fucking means to me. Do you know what I mean? To be there doing that and to be able to sing sing the songs that I write every night on a on a stage like that, like on whether I'm in England, in America, in Australia, anywhere else, like I have the best job in the world, dude. Do you know what I mean? And if me going through that trauma day in and day out, night in, night out, means that I still get to do this, then so be it. I'm fine with that, man.
Yeah, full respect to you, brother, because I don't think enough fans out there actually appreciate the
Thank you,
gravity
man.
of you having to go through that every night. You know, like they grab onto the song and they love it, but they don't
Yeah.
realize it is your life you're pouring out to them night after night. And so, yeah, full
Yeah.
respect to you, bro. I don't think I'll be able to do it.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man.
No worries, man. So, would you say overall that the album's an album of hope or an album of despair?
I'd say for the listener, it's an album of hope and redemption, you know? For me writing it, it was an album of despair at the start, because obviously because of like what I sing about, and a lot of the stuff was it's the first time I've like tried to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? All the time it's always been like suppressed in the back of my mind, just try to ignore it, get on with my life. Um, but it's always been there, like niggling in the back of my fucking head, and over the years, it's just gotten like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, eventually, when I was sat down like writing a lot of this album, it was traumatizing, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, it opens up, like you said, opens up a lot of wounds, makes you think about situations that I'd also forgot about. That you know, when I'm talking about the faith, and I'll be talking about one specific thing that happened to me, and but then something else will creep up from my subconscious, and I'm like, fucking hell, like
There's that
that,
too.
yeah, yeah, like that fucking happened too, like so, yeah, yeah, dude. I'd say it's hope for other people to know that you can go through this shit and you can still find a way out, and you can still seek forgiveness if that's what you are seeking. Like, you know, there's always room for people to be forgiven for their past mistakes and stuff like that. But also, I want people to feel heard, and for I say it a lot, but for people to be able to relate to what I'm talking about. Like, I hope if there's other people dealing with, you know, their belief in a higher, you know, a higher entity or any God that they believe in, and they question it, like, I hope that the words in these songs like kind of help them find a path to enlightenment, or to help them.
Give him a voice, mate, mainly.
Yeah, exactly. Or to just help them heal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, very cool. Now, you guys formed back in 2018, mate. So, what was
Hmm.
your early vision for Caskets, and how has it changed since?
Ah, fuck. So when I when I started Caskets, dude, I just it was just I had no I learned not to have a certain expectation, you know what I mean? It got to a point in my life where I was just like, it's probably not gonna happen, like, so I'm just gonna carry on doing music but have fun, do you know what I mean? But then I got into Caskets, and I realized like how like on the fucking ball, like, you know, these members were like, we built this plan, like this, you know, like 5 year plan. Like, we're going to spend a year writing these songs, write an EP, then we're going to put it out to management, then try and get on a label, like this and that, and we're going to do it this way and that way. Then that instantly made me think, like, you know, like, holy shit, like this could actually happen. Like, yeah, this could actually work. And I guess, dude, like, we've just been riding that wave ever since. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and we're you know, we're four guys from nowhere in England, so we appreciate and always will appreciate how very lucky we are to have even gotten this far in such a saturated industry now. Do you know what I mean? Um, so you know, we always like, well, I at least I do. I always take a step back to look at the journey. Do you know what I mean? Like, try and visualize the journey and look at how far we've come. And if it all if it all stopped tomorrow, you know, I would not be bitter. I'd still be super grateful and happy as to how far we've come. Obviously, you know, every band wants to be the biggest band in the world and this and that, but that's not that's not my aim. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd love to be able to earn a really solid living off it and stuff like that. That would be sick, but I don't want to, you know, I'm not bothered about fucking walking red carpets every night or anything like that. Like, but I the main thing is I want to write music that I care about and that I hope other people care enough about to want to listen to.
Yeah, nice. Now, your debut album, Lost Souls, was a breakthrough album for you guys. Like, did that early success come as a surprise to you as a band, or when you created that album, did you know that there was something special about it?
I wouldn't say we knew there was something special about it. I think we, you know, not tooting our own horn, but we knew it was a pretty fucking decent album. Do you know what I mean? Especially for a band's debut album. But we never expected it to do as well as what it did. Like, Glass Art's about to hit fucking 100 million streams on Spotify. Like, you know, never ever in our wildest dreams like expected it to do that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But then also like I do my very best to not be like, right, well, this new album needs to do
Yeah,
better than that album. Do you know what I mean? Like
too much
because
pressure.
that's too much pressure, but also I think that can create like a toxic mentality towards moving forwards. Do you know what I mean? Like that's done now. It did what it did, like, and I'm super happy and grateful for what it did and did for us, but it's time to focus on what's next. And if
Yeah.
what's next doesn't do as well, then that's fine, so be it. I love it. I'm sure people do love it, and on to the next thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually a perfect segue into the next question, mate, because you took a deeper, more introspective turn on the follow-up album Reflections, which was a brave move considering the success of Lost Souls. But was it tempting at the time just to rehash what was obviously a winning formula, or was it important for you to change things up?
I think personally, doing reflections, we put too much pressure on ourselves to like this is what I mean when it came to like looking back and it making some toxic mentality towards
Right,
what
yeah.
was next. So we was like, it needs to be better. Like, how the fuck can we make it not the exact same album, but still sound like Caskets, but be better? So we like changed up the way we wrote the songs. The I don't know the route as to how we wrote songs. Like Lost Souls was a lot about what I was going through in that moment in time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Reflections was more a collaborative album between all of us as a band, like,
Right.
and that's I think that grew us together because we all opened up to each other about some of the shit we'd gone through in life and stuff like that, and so we wrote songs not only about what I'd gone through, but you know about what the other members had gone through too. But then I think that it was sometimes difficult for me to sing those songs, and I don't think the emotion came across the way that I wanted it to. And I think it was just simply because they weren't songs about
Yeah.
my shit. Do you know what I mean? Um, so that's why we went back to the way we wrote Lost Souls like this time around, because I think we found the perfect way of how to write our songs, and we felt that pressure writing Reflections, and we felt like we needed to do something different, and now we kind of realize that we didn't need to do anything different. We just let yeah we just let the fucking the we just let it get on top of us, and do you know what I mean, and let the pressure get to us, I guess. So like I said, this time around the mentality was we're going to go into this studio, we're going to write this fucking album, and we're not going to worry about what anyone else wants or what anyone else thinks. We're just going to write songs that we want to write, and we're going to fucking have fun doing it. And that's what we did. And I think that's why we've come out with our best album yet, personally.
Fantastic, bro. Now, the other good news is that you are returning to Australia next year for a run of shows with We Came as Romans, which kicks off in Brisbane on February the 6th. Like, sounds like a dream touring team, bro. Have you toured with them much before?
Yeah, we did a tour with them. I think it was like probably 2, 3 years ago around Europe, which was a fucking good time. fun fact, I actually broke my elbow on that tour, falling off a Lime scooter in Germany. Uh,
Of all the ways to do it.
yeah. I hit a curb, dude, and went arse over tit and just like landed right on my elbow. And then I had to play like luckily there was only about 4 shows left of the tour, but my arm was that beat up.
That would have hurt you, like
Just like
bastard.
I was just on stage, dude, like arm just hanging off me, like, um, but yeah, they're super sick guys, very talented. I've been listening to them for a long time as well, so it's like it was an honor the first time around. So I'm super lucky to be able to share the stage with them a second time around. So yeah, I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be a dope time.
No, it's going to be nearly 2 years since Caskets were last in Australia by the time that show comes around. So,
Mm.
how's your live show going to be different this time to what it was 2 years ago?
Well, the shows are uh, a little bit bigger this time around, and we finally have a little bit more money to be able to spend on, a good looking set and stuff. So yeah, we hope that people will notice that, and yeah, honestly, dude, like we just can't wait to get back to Australia and play some shows. There's some I don't I'm not just saying this like the Australia shows are some of like the most memorable and best shows I think we've ever played. Like super insanely intense. Like crowd goes so hard like all the way through the show. There's no like down
Mm.
down moment of a show in Australia. So yeah, we're stoked, dude. We can't wait, and we got like a little set to bring along too, and we have better equipment this time around and stuff too. So hopefully the sound is a little bit better.
Sure. And then you finish that tour off with an appearance at Life's a Beach Festival in Melbourne on February the 14th, alongside
Yeah, right.
Polaris, Die Art is Murder, Ocean Sleeper, We Came as Romans there. There's more as well. Not a bad way to wind up a tour, mate. Medal on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right. Fucking insane, right? And it's
Love it.
it's our first time playing with a lot of these bands too. So I've been listening to Polaris since like 2016, 2017. So before our band even started, like so I've always been a big fan of theirs. And so yeah, I've not seen them live yet either. So
You're in
I'm
for a treat.
super yeah, I fucking bet, dude. Like I'm super stoked to be there and hopefully spend a few moments with him, getting to know him. But I'm super excited to play the show, man. It'll be the biggest show we played in Australia too, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to see the rest of the bands too. It's gonna be a dope time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks very much for your time, Matt. Been a pleasure chatting with you. The Only Heaven You'll Know is out this Friday, November 7th. And don't let our little talk about pop before put you off. It's a fucking heavy as album. Really good effort, bro. And I think you're right in saying it's your best yet, mate. It's quality effort.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you for having me. Yeah.